Hey, what's up, guys? Jag Megan for Jaggy Sports. Basically, yeah, it goes a little something like this. Ben Simmons update is status freaking quo. Well, actually, not status freaking quo because the price range for Ben Simmons just went up again. And, you know, it's, you find that hard to believe, but it did go up. And I don't know if, like, with conviction, I said it yesterday, he was going to get traded and he might go to the Nets and, he might not, but he might go somewhere else to allow James Harden to come into the picture. But at the end of the day, now you have Woj, who is unbelievably talented at telling it like it is. You have him saying this might carry on to the NBA draft. Check this out.
Well, Perk said the magic words, though, without Ben Simmons. So for more on the Sixers, we are joined by senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski and front office insider Bobby Marks. It's no secret here. Philly is having one of its most successful seasons, some success, without Ben Simmons, who is yet to play in a game this season. So, Adrian, we're just under a month away from the February 10th trade deadline. Is there any movement for a possible Simmons trade here?
Malika, there is no movement. And listen, we may be in this situation all the way until the NBA draft. Because, listen, right now you look at Philadelphia and the kind of players available to them in a Ben Simmons trade, a Harrison Barnes in Sacramento, Domantas Sabonis, Indiana, and listen, John Collins in Atlanta. That's not going to move the needle at this point for Ben Simmons. And listen, they would, especially positionally with those players, power forwards. For Philly, it doesn't make any sense, hypothetically, if they took any of those guys on in big deals and to still have Tobias Harris on your roster at the same position, making closer to $40 million a year over the following 2 seasons. And so unless they could expand the deal, make it bigger, listen, Atlanta's not taking back Tobias Harris in a deal with Ben Simmons. Could they route Tobias Harris somewhere else? Listen, it is a lot of money on his contract. Listen, right now, I think Philadelphia continues to be content to wait. And, their philosophy all along has been if we get a trade package back that doesn't make us a championship contender, doesn't get us back to that level that we felt we were with Ben Simmons, we're not doing it. And so I think even with a month left to the deadline, there's a real chance this goes on beyond the deadline.
Well, they'll wait, and we will wait with them. Woj, thank you so much, but please stick around and come back a little bit later in the show. If we're talking money moves, we need to talk a little bit to Bobby Marks. So right now on ESPN.com, Bobby, you have an incredibly comprehensive piece that outlines what to watch for at the trade deadline, and in it, you propose one trade for each team that you would want to see. So what is that trade for Philadelphia?
Malika, it's simple. Go get Jaylen Brown of the Celtics. Now, I don't think Brown is available. I don't think the Celtics would do a deal, but if I'm Darryl Morrey, the president of the Sixers, I'm calling up to Brad Stevens, and I'm offering Ben Simmons, I'm offering Matisse Thybulle, and I'm getting Jaylen Brown and Juancho Hernan-Gomez just to make the money work. And I think when you look at this Sixers team, great streak going on. Joel Embiid's playing like an MVP, but can we make the argument that they're actually going to get out of the first round if there is no Simmons deal past February 10th? I don't think so here. So I think to buy, you have to sell. And if it's Ben Simmons and adding something else to get a player like Jaylen Brown, that's the direction I'm going.
Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. We're mentioning streaks. We're talking about streaks. We mentioned the 76ers. We're now joined by senior NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. And Woj, since we mentioned the Sixers and the winning streak they're on, we can't talk about the Sixers without also checking in on Ben Simmons. So what's the latest there?
Malika, you talk to some teams who've continued to be engaged with the Sixers on Ben Simmons over the months. They'll tell you that Philly's asking price has even gotten steeper. That there would be a thought that, as you got closer to the deadline, they start to come back down to earth with what they're asking for. That's not been the case. And so I think it's showing that Philadelphia remains, determined to try to get, a difference maker back for him. Listen, they would love to have Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. Boston has made it clear to Philly I think the other teams around the league who've called, they are not splitting up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Right.
So Boston's packages of Marcus Smart and some of those, any of your pick of young players in Boston, that's not getting it done for a player of Ben Simmons' caliber. And listen, Philly's going, I really believe they're willing to take this to the NBA draft and to the summer. We still have a month till the trade deadline, but I think they're feeling, and I think what you still have in Philly is alignment with ownership, with management, that if we can't get back a team here or the pieces that allow us to be a championship contender, there's no point in doing it. And so if we're going to eventually give in on a deal we don't love, we're not doing it now.
So, me personally, if this carries out to the NBA draft, I feel really bad for Joel Embiid because, you kind of want him to get paired up with a dynamic all-star or like a very experienced player, but that may or may not be the case because Ben Simmons is not coming back in a Philadelphia 76ers uniform. He claimed mental health, and surprisingly, he doesn't want to see the Philadelphia 76ers doctors. He wants to go see his own doctors, but basically it's kind of like there's a good chance that he doesn't get traded. He doesn't get traded. That means Joel Embiid and the 76ers, who are, I think they won their last 7 games, are heading into the playoffs with no experienced all-star besides Joel Embiid. So, it kind of sucks for Philly fans that you want to actually see Joel Embiid in the prime of his career get somewhere farther than the second round, I think it was last time, but maybe hopefully go to the conference finals, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but you never know. Joel Embiid might pull off something else out of his hat because besides the Memphis Grizzlies, Joel Embiid and the 76ers are the hottest team in the NBA right now. And, kudos to them. Kudos to Doc Rivers for being a great coach for them in the regular season. Let's just see if that transpires over to the playoffs. So, once again, Woj announced it that Rich Paul, Ben Simmons' agent, had a lunch date with Darryl Morey and I believe Doc Rivers. I'm not 100% sure, and he just wanted to know what the hell the deal was with Ben Simmons. To me, I find this a bit weird because the thing is, both sides don't like each other because there's a stalemate, and yet they're having lunch. So it's it probably is a really, really good lunch. It probably is. They probably want somewhere like Red Lobster or McDonald's. Who the hell knows? But you know what I mean. A&W. But come on, like, you guys hate each other. Let's just move on. Hopefully something transpires. Hopefully they get a good deal on the table. From what I'm hearing is Sacramento, Atlanta, Indiana, they all have trade packages for Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris, because that was the package deal yesterday. They all have something because Darryl Morey wants to get rid of Ben Simmons in a package deal. So we'll see what happens. Any updates, I'll let you know. Subscribe to this channel for any real-time updates. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. It's Jag Mang at Jaggy Sports.